How do I record? Do I need to do that?
I've got the recording going on my end.
Okay, cool. All right, so post to posts. So for this project, I had a mock-up that needed, well, there was a single post here, and at the bottom, you will see there's a section called related articles. And so right now I have it spitting out the related articles to the current article. So how do you achieve this? This is where post-to-post come in. You can set relationships between posts. So you can do any sort of custom post type or pages or posts. You can do one-to-many relationships, many-to-many relationships, and that's mostly what you'll be doing. Use this. This is going to be pretty basic. There are a lot of options within post-to-post, but I've only ever used it, in a fairly rudimentary sense. So how do we do this? How do we get these posts related to one another? Once you have post-to-post installed, we'll go to the code. You want to pull up your functions.php file. So you have this section here, post to posts, and this is your key method here, function, the P2P registry connection type. Now you want to wrap this in a function in your functions.php. You can't just call this in your functions.php. You use an action, P2P in it, to initialize that. So, this is the registering function. The first line here is a unique identifier to this particular relationship. And for this particular one, it was just a relationship between the two magazine articles themselves. So called it articles to articles. The from is, so these are your two, how you relate these two posts together. So you can have, for this particular one, again, I'm just relating two of the same custom post types together. You could have post here, you could have page, or whatever custom post type you want. The next line is sortable. This is, you'll see here in a minute, that you can, in your post editing screen, you can edit, you can sort these, so that will later come into when you're spitting them out to be displayed on your template page. How they're going to come up in that object variable. The title here is going to relate to the meta box that shows up also in the post editing screen. So I call this one related articles. The can create post is, I believe that's default to true. And this will allow you to sort of dynamically create a post within that meta box on the post edit screen. I don't find this to be very helpful. It's really, it just gives you a box to put in a title, and then you hit add article, and then it forwards you to the, add a new post page. So, and oftentimes, I don't think users really need that. They just need an option to where they need to add previously previous posts that are created. And then the admin box, this will give you some options for the actual meta box on the post edit screen. So you can, just like in a Delta post type, you can set a context priority. And if you just want to show from or to or any is another option there. So let's look at the edit screen. So this is that article I was showing. And so now that we have our post-to-post registered for magazine articles, we now have this related articles meta box. And here you can create connections, so it will search through and find all of the other magazine articles that you have created, and you can add them as needed. And so you can also search, which is nice. So now that I've added that one, actually it should show up here. Okay, that didn't work. I'll have to take a look at that. So let me go in and we'll look at the template file. I actually have a function set to spit out those related articles. So it's in my functions.php here, called display related articles. So this is how you're going to spit out those related articles, and it's really just a WP query with some specialized options here. You could also do a get posts, which is the same thing. Although in the documentation it says that you need to set, I believe it's suppress filters to false. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why that is, but I don't know. Maybe Brad knows. But I just use they recommend in the documentation just use the WP query option, which get posts is just a wrapper for that anyway. So, so in here you got your connected type, and this is just the ID that we gave it down below, or the name, the unique identifier. And back here. The connected items, this is going to pull out the current post. So this will set the post variable. And then there are a couple of other options here, but I don't really use those. The no paging, I guess there's some built-in paging pagination there. And then after that, you can just check, make sure that it has posts, and then loop through, and that's all it's doing. So it's just as you would normally do with the get posts, you would loop through all of the do a for each or whatever through all of your posts and spit them out. So that's really about it. It's really simple. The other example I have. Does anybody have any questions so far?
Don't think so. Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's really straightforward, but it's really nice. When you need some sort of relationship like that, it's really simple but really powerful. The other example I have is this is used heavily on Mizzou Rec. So I was going to show those. So here, I didn't actually set these up. I think it might have been Charles, but these are all the post-to-post connections in Mizzou Rec. So we've got some custom post types called programs, custom post types called facilities. So there's a connection here. So when I hit a facilities page, for example, it spits out, okay, what are the programs located in this facility? And on the back end, you can see here in this post-to-post declaration, you can set the title of those meta boxes. And so this is really nice where he sets this array. So you can set the from, which if you're editing a program, it'll say, look, where is this program located? What facility is it located in? But if you're editing a facility, it'll say what programs are in this facility. And so it makes it a little bit easier for the user to kind of make those connections. So yeah, as you can see, we've got several different ones here. And then they're actually the way that they are outputting these on Mizzou Rec is a little bit different. Um, this is the template file, so this is how they're spitting out these related posts. There's this function here called P2P type, which in the documentation the documentation has sort of disparate information in it, and I couldn't really find much information on this. Um, to me, it looks like it's some sort of a wrap, almost another wrapper to get posts or something like that. And then you put in your, unique identifier here, and then there's this get connected method, and then pull the current post out of there. So it's basically doing the same thing that I was doing here with the WP query, but I guess it's just another way to do that. And then, yeah, do your loop from there. So the way to find this information, there is actually documentation on this. If you go to the post-to-post plugin page on WordPress.org, at the bottom here, there's a link, documentation, and it actually links to GitHub. That's where the project's located, so you can it's pretty extensive. A lot of the stuff, again, I haven't really done much of it, but really what I just showed you, that's really the basics and probably all you'll need to do for a project. So that's about it.
Cool. Does
Do
that
you
make
guys have any
sense to
questions?
everybody? Nick, does that seem pretty straightforward?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to. I need to use it on a carousel, so on a custom post type. So that's why I was interested in it, trying to pull in some other sections of a custom post type. So
Cool. All right. Well, I guess
Cool.
we'll just wrap up. Thanks, Jared, for walking through that. I think it's good to have this recorded, and it seems like something that everyone's been having to do in WordPress projects more and more. So
Yeah, it's a neat little utility, so it's good for everyone to know it.
cool. All right. Later, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jared.
thanks, Jade.